Track 1.
So we can divide all business activities into 3 sectors. In the primary sector, we find activities that extract raw materials from the earth or from the oceans. These are businesses like agriculture, mining, and oil and gas. The secondary sector covers activities like manufacturing, construction, and civil engineering, building roads and bridges, for example. Finally, in the tertiary sector, we have commercial services such as advertising, healthcare, software, and transport. Now, let's go to the...
Track 2. Speaker 1.
Hi, I'm Michael. I'm a product engineer. I love working in R&D. I test new products and find solutions to technical problems. It's my dream job.
Track 3. Speaker 2. Hello, my name's Jessie. My job is hard. There's a lot of stress. I work in purchasing. It's part of supply chain. I'm responsible for buying the materials we need for production. Track 4. Speaker 3.
Hi, I'm Pete. I work in accounts, and it's my job to check that customers pay their bills. I receive payments, and I enter the information on the computer. If customers don't pay, I call them. They're usually very friendly, so yes, it's a good job.
Track 5. Speaker 4.
Sorry, I don't have much time to talk. I'm always busy. I'm Kim and I work in sales. It's my job to call customers and sell our products. I'd really like to work in marketing, but the money's better in sales.
Track 6. Now, Ben, you say you'd like to work for Rose Inc. to gain experience.
That's right. I hope to work as an intern before finding a permanent job.
And you already have some experience in our industry.
Yes, with L'Oréal in Paris. I was responsible for conducting an online market survey.
Do you have any experience of managing people?
Well, I managed a team of volunteers when I was president of the Salsa Society. We organised dances and competitions.
Right. Any other work experience?
Yes, I worked as a repair technician in the Czech Republic in the summer holidays.
Ah, yes. So, do you have a working knowledge of the language?
Yes, my dad's from Prague.
I see. That's interesting. We have a factory there. Do you drive?
Yes, I hold a clean driving licence.
Good. So, Ben, can I contact you in Coventry?
Yes, my address, email and telephone numbers are all in my CV, in my resume.
All in your resume. That's perfect. Thank you, Ben. Track 7. Lena.
I really want to work in the film industry, but with just a degree, it's impossible to get a job. So my parents paid an agency nearly $10,000 to arrange this internship in a film studio. Yes, $10,000. So here I am in Hollywood, and you know how I demonstrate my ability to adapt to a different culture? I make coffee and cook burgers for the film crew. Well, I suppose it's good for team spirit, but I'm not learning about managing uncertainty or how to build relationships. I live in a terrible, cheap hotel, and I don't even get paid. I call the agency every week, but they say it's the only job available in the film industry. Making coffee and cooking burgers is show business? I don't think so.
Track 8. Jamie.
I have a degree in economics. To get a good job, I need to acquire some professional experience. So I found this internship here in Brazil with an agency. It was expensive, about $5,000, but they organised everything for me. My visa, my flight, an apartment near the beach, language lessons. I work for an international firm of consultants. Cultural values are different here, so I'm learning a lot about intercultural sensitivity. For example, it's very important to adjust my communication to the local style. Brazilians are informal and direct. The company pays me a small salary, and maybe I can get a permanent job at the end of my internship. So yes, I'm very satisfied. Like they say at the agency, it's an investment in my future.
Track 9.
99 101 1000 1500 or 1500 7777 88,888 100,000 900,999 1 million 3.5 million 2.5 billion 2.575 $110 €15.99
Track 10.
OK, I'll go first. So, I have to think of a secret number between 1 and 1 million. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
OK, I'm ready.
All right. I guess 100,000.
Too high.
1,000.
Too high.
Oh.
500.
Too low.
Aha. 850.
Too low.
900.
Too high.
885.
Too low.
896.
Too low.
899.
Yes, well done.
Yeah.
Track 11.
A H J K E B C D E G P T V E F L M N S X Z I Y O U Q U W R
Track 12. Hello.
Hi.
Hello. We'd like to register, please.
Certainly. Can I have your names, please?
Yes, I'm Jennifer Oxenberry, and this is Mo Qureshi. Sorry, I mean Mohammed Qureshi.
Can you spell those, please?
Yes, of course. JENNIFEROXENBURY.
Thank you. And it's...
Mohammed. That's MOHAMMAD.
Sorry. Was that M-E-D or M-A-D at the end?
Double M-A-D.
Okay.
Qureshi. Q-U-R-E-S-H-I.
Thank you. Now, I just need your dates of birth and passport numbers, please.
Really? Okay. Mine's the 15th of April, 1994.
And mine's the 28th of December, 1993.
Thank you. And your passport number, Mr. Qureshi?
Just a second. Here it is. 08JG.
That's J for Juliet and G for Golf, right?
Right. 08JG 446669.
And mine is 07EI984502.
Thanks. Sorry about that. New security regulations. So here are your keys. Miss Oxenberry, you're in A309. That's on the 3rd floor.
Thank you.
And Mr. Qureshi, you're in E214. That's in the new building over there on the 2nd floor.
Thanks.
Your course reference numbers are on your badges. Miss Oxenberry, you're doing the assertiveness course, aren't you? That's ASS67/GL. And Mr. Qureshi, leadership skills, that's LEA43/JH. Your course starts tomorrow, Mr. Qureshi. That's June 30th, and it's at 8:45 with Dr. Higgs.
Okay. June 30th, 8:45 with Dr.
Higgs. Higgs. She's very nice.
Thanks.
And I start the day after tomorrow. At the same time?
Assertiveness. Yes, July 1st. Oh, you start at 6:30.
6:30 a.m.?
No, 6:30 in the evening. It's a late class, 6:30 to 10:30 p.m.
Oh.
Yes, but you're lucky. You're with Professor Lockhart. He's great.
Oh, good. Is that Lochart?
Yes.
Great.
All right, then. So for you, Mr. Qureshi, that's $455. And for Miss Oxenberry, it's $545. How would you like to pay? Track 13. Part 1.
So, how often do we Europeans travel abroad?
Well, it depends. A lot of us often go abroad. On average, 27% of Europeans visit another country once a year, mostly in the summer.
But not everybody, right?
No, in Bulgaria, only 5% of people go abroad.
Only 5% of Bulgarians go abroad. Wow. And which country travels most?
Oh, the Netherlands. 65% of Dutch people leave Holland. They travel once or twice a year. Track 14. Part 2.
What about watching TV in a foreign language? How often do we watch a foreign film?
Well, nearly always in Denmark. 74% of Danes watch foreign language TV or films.
Wow, well done, Denmark. 74%. And when do they do that?
All the time. At the weekend, on weekdays, in the evening.
OK, and on average?
On average, 19% of Europeans watch foreign TV.
And which countries don't?
Well, Italy. Only 3% of Italians watch films in another language.
Only 3%? Oh, really?
Track 15. Part 3. Finally, reading a newspaper in a foreign language. On average, 9% of Europeans read a foreign newspaper.
9%. That's not much.
Well, I'm afraid only 3% of Italians read a foreign newspaper.
Probably the same ones who watch foreign films.
Perhaps.
Come on, Italy, you can do better. Just once every 6 months or once a quarter.
But in Luxembourg, 71% of people read a foreign newspaper.
Excellent. 71%. Way to go, Luxembourg.
Track 16.
Excuse me, is this seat free?
Yes, of course.
Thanks. The weather's terrible, isn't it?
Yes, it's really cold for May.
Are you here for the conference?
Yes. You too?
Yes. My name's Greg. Greg Baird. I'm with Sanofi.
Silk Werner with GSK.
Ah, pleased to meet you, Silk.
Pleased to meet you too.
Track 17.
Hi, I'm Greg Baird with Sanofi.
Welcome to the conference, Mr. Baird. Here's your badge.
Thanks.
Hi, Greg.
Alan, great to see you.
Good to see you too, Greg. How are you doing?
I'm good, thanks. And you? Still with Merck, I see?
Yes, for the moment anyway. Listen, talking of jobs, do you have time for a cup of coffee? I want to ask you a favour.
Track 18.
It's good coffee. Okay, Alan, I'll do my best. Oh, hi, Silk. Alan, do you know Silk Werner?
No, I don't think so.
Silk, this is Alan Banks, an old friend from Merck.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Do you work with Greg?
No, we met on the shuttle bus. I'm with GSK in London.
London? Really?
Yes, I work in R&D.
Go on. Do tell me more.
Silk, Alan, do excuse me. I really must take my bags up to my room.
Okay. See you later.
Track 19.
More bread?
No, thanks. I'm fine.
So now I'm in France, in Lyon.
Uh-huh.
Yes, nice town, a good rugby team, but it's quite far from home.
I see.
That's why I'd really like to move to London. But enough about me. Let's talk about you. Is this your first visit to Serbia?
Yes, it is, actually.
Me too. I love visiting new countries and meeting new people, don't you?
Yes, it's always good to see new places.
By the way, there's a tour of the old town this evening. Are you interested in coming?
Oh, sorry, no, I have a meeting this evening. Anyway, Alan, I really must make some phone calls, so...
Oh, okay. Well, it was nice talking to you.
Yes. See you later.
Track 20.
Ty, can I just check how you spell your name? Is it SHINAWOTRA?
That's nearly right, but it's WATRA, not WO.
Okay. And you were born on September 8th, 1990?
No, August 9th, 1990.
Oh, yes. Sorry about that.
That's all right.
And you're from Thailand, but you studied in California. Is that right?
Right, at the Levy School of Business in Santa Clara.
LEAVEY?
Yes.
So, Ty, what's your professional objective?
Well, I don't know. Right now, I just want to see the world and get some experience, I guess.
Track 21.
Karen, I'm sorry, I don't have your date of birth here.
It's the 5th of May, 1991.
Thank you. Now, you're Irish, aren't you?
I'm from Northern Ireland, from Belfast.
And you studied languages at Bradford University. Which languages?
Hungarian and Japanese.
An interesting choice.
Yes, I love exotic languages. Don't you?
So, would you like to learn Chinese or Portuguese?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
What about your intercultural skills? Can you adapt to a different culture?
I'm sure I can. Bradford is an international university. I have friends from all over the world, and I love travelling and meeting people. That's my hobby.
Track 22.
Where are you from, Julio?
My parents are from Mexico City, but we live in Barbados. I studied at the University of the West Indies at Cave Hill.
Can you spell Cave Hill for me, please?
Sure. C-A-V-E, new word, H-I-L-L.
Thanks. So you're a Mexican national?
Yes, but I don't know Mexico very well.
But you speak Spanish. Any other languages?
No, I'm afraid not. Just Spanish and English.
Now, you studied physics, but you want to work in business. Why is that?
Actually, my real interest is computers and software. I'd really like to be a software developer.
Track 23.
Just one last question, Ty. These days, a lot of internships are unpaid. Is that a problem for you?
Yes, that's a little difficult. I don't need a lot of money, just enough to live on and to pay for my ticket home.
Track 24.
Just one last question, Karen. These days, a lot of internships are unpaid. Is that a problem for you?
Not really. I hope to earn a good salary in a few years. I see this internship as an investment for the future.
Track 25.
Just one last question, Julio. These days, a lot of internships are unpaid. Is that a problem for you?
Well, I know I won't get rich. That's not a problem. But I need to pay for food and accommodation. My parents can't pay for everything.
Track 26. Speaker 1.
I always buy my fruit and vegetables from a specialist shop. There's a market near my home and a supermarket too. They're both cheaper, but I prefer my fruit and vegetable shop. I'm happy to pay a little more because everything is always fresh, but mainly because of the service. The assistants all know my name and they know what I like. They're very friendly. They always seem pleased to see you and make conversation. They help you with your bags and they always give you something free, some herbs or a nice red apple. I suppose they just make you feel special.
Track 27. Speaker 2.
I'm not the sort of person who complains. If the service isn't good in a restaurant, for example, I don't say anything. I just don't give a tip and I don't go back. Or if an internet service provider doesn't have good technical support, I change to another company. There's so much competition these days. I'm surprised there's still so much bad service. Customers always have a choice, so bad service just doesn't make sense. I really don't understand it.
Track 28.
Customer service, good morning. How can I help you?
Hello, I'm calling about my internet box. I'm having installation problems.
I'm sorry to hear that, but if you contact the helpline, they can provide technical support. The number to call is 0800.
Track 29.
Customer service, good afternoon. Can I help you?
Yes, good afternoon. It's about the TV I ordered from you. It doesn't work, but you have a money-back guarantee, is that right?
That's absolutely right, sir. I'm sorry your TV doesn't work, but if you return the faulty product, we'll give you a full refund.
Track 30.
Customer service, good evening.
Good evening. I'm calling to complain about the ski jacket I ordered. You shipped the wrong product. It's too small and it's a really horrible colour.
I'm sorry to hear that.
And it's not the first time. It's really not good enough.
I do apologise, madam. We'll be happy to exchange the product.
Track 31. 1.
I'm just finishing a call on my mobile. Ask her to wait for a minute or two, please.
Track 32. 2. OK, that's my checklist done. Now, where's the number? Here it is. 0371 629 404. Track 33. 3.
I'm sorry, I'm out of the office today. Please record your details after the beep and I'll get back to you as soon as possible.
Track 34. 4.
Hello, hello? Can you hear me? Hello?
Track 35. 5.
Hi, it's Philip. I know you're busy, but I need the sales results as soon as you can. Thanks.
Track 36. 6.
Hello, could I speak to Julia Martin, please?
Track 37.
Marchman Video. Good morning. Can I help you?
Good morning. Could I speak to Sue Downing, please?
Could I have your name, please?
Yes, this is Mike Woods from Pixcale Inc.
Just a moment, please. I'm sorry, Mr. Woods. She isn't answering. Would you like to speak to her assistant?
Yes, please.
I'll put you through.
Thank you.
Paula Rice.
Hello, Paula. It's Mike from Pixcale. How are you?
Oh, hi, Mike. I'm fine, thanks. And you?
Good, thanks. Is Sue there, please?
I'm sorry, she isn't available this morning. She's in a meeting. Can I take a message?
Yes, please. I'm calling about her next order. Could you ask her to call me back?
Sure. Is lunchtime okay for you?
Yes, that's fine.
I'll ask her to get back to you as soon as the meeting is finished.
Great. Thanks for your help, Paula.
You're welcome.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Track 38.
Hello.
Is that Mike?
Yes, speaking.
It's Sue Downing here, returning your call. Is this a bad time?
Sue, hi. No, I'm just finishing my sandwich, but it's fine. Thanks for getting back to me.
No problem. What can I do for you?
Well, it's about your next order. As you know, we have a new product, and we...
Track 39.
Hi, this is Scott Nelson, president of the Illinois Einstein Fan Club. Listen, the concert in Burlington on Thursday was awesome. But a lot of our members are very unhappy because it's so difficult to get tickets. The band is famous now. We don't understand why you don't play bigger venues. I mean, the Burlington Plaza only has 2,000 seats. That's far too small for a great band like Einstein. You can easily sell 5,000 tickets in Burlington. The other problem in a theater is there's no space to dance. There are too many seats. Anyway, please call me back or email me s.nelson, that's Nelson, at AOL.com. Thank you.
Track 40.
We need to talk about supply chain problems. First, there's packaging costs. The boxes we buy from Pack-a-Box are more and more expensive.
That's why you ordered 400,000 boxes, to get a better price.
Yes, Luke, but I understand we don't have enough storage.
Exactly.
What about foreign suppliers? I'm sure we can get better prices in Asia or India.
That's true. But people at Pack-a-Box could lose their jobs.
Yes, that's a difficult decision. OK, the second problem is raw materials.
What's the problem? Polyplasto supply the right product at the right price. If you remember to order, of course.
Yes, all right, Brendan. The problem is we only have one supplier. We put all our eggs in one basket. That's a big risk. If they can't deliver, or if they decide to increase their price, we're in trouble.
And if we work with two suppliers, it's more expensive?
Right. For smaller quantities, the price is always higher. There's also a third problem. Deliveries to the shops. Luke?
Yes. Small truck are unhappy because sometimes we need 3 trucks a week, sometimes only 1, and sometimes none at all. It's very difficult for them to manage.
I can understand that. They never know how many trucks and how many drivers they need.
Perhaps we can give them more information about our orders and production.
But it's risky, Brendan. We don't want our competitors to have that sort of information. Look, these are all difficult decisions. I think we need to have another meeting.
Track 41. Today, I'm going to talk about 8 stages in the product life cycle. The cycle begins when raw materials like iron ore, trees or oil are extracted from the ground or from the sea. This is called extraction. In the next stage, which is called processing, raw materials are processed to make materials like steel, wood or plastic. Before the product can be manufactured, it is designed to be easy to produce and use. This design stage is followed by manufacture. The product is manufactured in large quantities to reduce costs. Next, the product is distributed to customers by ship, train, truck or plane. This is the distribution stage. Then, the product is used by consumers. After the use stage, we have repair. If it breaks, the product is repaired by the manufacturer. Finally, in the recycling stage, the product is recycled at the end of its useful life. Track 42. Speaker 1.
Nowadays, 85% of the materials used to make a car can be recovered and used again.
Track 43. Speaker 2.
If you order before 3 p.m., we can deliver anywhere in the country the next day.
Track 44. Speaker 3.
We use 3D models on computers, so we know exactly what the product will look like and how we can manufacture it.
Track 45. Speaker 4.
We use a lot of powerful machinery, but it's still a dirty job. Dirty, hard work, and dangerous.
Track 46. Speaker 5.
More and more processes are controlled by computers. In fact, most of the time, there are only 3 or 4 people on a line that makes hundreds of pieces per day.
Track 47. Speaker 6. It's quicker and cheaper to just change the PCB, the printed circuit board. It takes too long to look for individual components that aren't working. Track 48.
Hi everybody, and welcome to the Cookie Factory. Now, first of all, the flour, butter, eggs, and sugar are mixed in large containers, and then the chocolate chips are added. Please don't touch anything. You can taste some cookies at the end of the visit. Next, the cookie mix is poured into silicone molds. We use molds so that every cookie is exactly the same size and weight. After that, The cookies are baked in the ovens for 11 minutes. As you can see, everything is done by machines.
Excuse me, but are the machines operated by people?
No, they aren't. They are controlled by computer. Now, just behind the ovens, you can see the cooling area. When they come out of the ovens, the cookies are very hot. They are cooled for 15 minutes. After that, they are packed. Finally, the cookies are shipped to customers worldwide. Now, who would like to taste some cookies?
Oh, yes, please.
All right.
Track 49.
Good morning, and thank you for inviting me here today. I'm here to tell you how a distribution centre works. I'd like to start by explaining what a distribution centre is. When you order 2 or 3 different items from an online store, like Amazon or eBay, it's the distribution centre that sends your products just a day or 2 later, all in one box. So, how do we do it? Well, first of all, the distribution centre has millions of products in stock, all in one place. The goods are delivered by truck from manufacturers all over the world. When the goods arrive, they are checked by a receiver and identified with an electronic tag. If we don't record every item in the database, we don't know what we have in stock and where everything is. Next, the goods are put on racks, or if they are large products in boxes, like TVs, they are stored on pallets. Are there any questions so far? No? All right. Moving on to the next stage. When you place your order with the store, a picking list is sent to the distribution centre. This is a list of products to be picked or collected from the racks. Then we pack your goods carefully in a box. An invoice or a delivery note is also included. After that, a shipping label with your name and address is printed and stuck on the box. Finally, your order is shipped and an email is sent to confirm the shipment date. I'd like to finish by pointing out that very often your goods are shipped only a few hours after your order, so you can receive them in less than 48 hours. Now, if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them. Yes?
Track 50.
So, the first thing you see when you arrive in front of the building is the loading bay on the left. This is where all the parts are delivered and where the finished products are loaded onto trucks.
Oh, all in the same place?
Yes, but the logistics department is just behind the loading bay, and it's divided into 2 sections, in on the left and out on the right. Okay, let's go inside. Now, as we come through the main entrance, the packaging department is straight in front of you, and logistics is on your left, just round the corner.
Oh, yes, I see.
When the parts arrive from the loading bay, first they're checked in logistics, and then we put them in the store, which is here on the right between the entrance and the warehouse. Before they're assembled, some of the parts are painted. The painting department is next to packaging on the left. After painting, the parts go to assembly on your right, opposite the warehouse. Some of the digidiscs are tested. The testing department is over there in the opposite corner next to painting. After that, all the finished products are packaged and then stored in the warehouse. Any questions so far?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, so there are just 2 more important places. The first is order processing, which is the open plan office between logistics on one side and testing and painting on the other. That's where you're working. And last but not least, we have the coffee machine, which is over there in front of the warehouse. Are you ready for a cup of coffee?
Oh, yes, please.
Track 51.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for coming. I want to talk about the way the factory is organised. I know some of you are having problems. Can we start with logistics? Saeed?
Well, first of all, the store is too far from the loading bay. All the boxes and pallets go through order processing every time we move something.
Yes, but the store needs to be close to assembly and packaging.
Well, yes, but a lot of parts don't go directly from the store to assembly. They go to painting first.
That's true, I suppose. Is that a problem for you in order processing, Katie?
Oh yes, it's really difficult to work. We're interrupted all the time. And what's more, there's the terrible smell from painting and the noise from testing.
Yes, I can see that. What about packaging, Tina?
Well, the main problem is that we need more space. The packaging department is just too small.
Well, there's empty space in the warehouse.
Yes, the warehouse is too big. The finished products don't stay there very long anyway.
Right. What else? Lily?
Well, there's the coffee machine.
What's wrong with the coffee machine? I think the coffee's quite good.
Yes, but it's in a really dangerous place. There's always a lot of traffic between assembly, the warehouse and the store. I'm surprised we don't have more accidents.
Well, yes, I suppose you're right. But do you have a better idea?
Can we move the walls?
The walls? Yes. They're all movable. We can change everything except the loading bay.
All right. Well, I think we need to move the walls.
Track 52. Amy.
My name's Amy. I did a 4-year Bachelor of Commerce course. When I graduated, I wanted a job with an international hotel chain. Unfortunately, nobody was hiring, especially a new graduate like me with no experience. Eventually, I saw an ad in the newspaper for an entry-level job with a small hotel in my hometown. The money wasn't very good, but I took the job. I worked hard to make a good impression, and I was extremely flexible. After 6 months, I was a supervisor. In less than a year, I was promoted to a management position. About a year later, my experience and skills got me my dream job with Marriott International.
Track 53. Rob.
My name's Rob. I found my dream job on Twitter. Seriously. I was working in a software company and I wanted a more creative and less boring job with a cool company. So I made a list of everything I wanted to find with my next employer. Unfortunately, my ideal company didn't exist. At the same time, I was learning a new programming language. I started talking to other people about it on Twitter. One day, one of my Twitter friends was talking about the company he worked for. I visited the website and found everything that was on my ideal employer list. I sent them my CV and my Twitter friend gave me a personal recommendation. After 3 interviews, I got the job.
Track 54. Denise.
My name's Denise. In my last year before graduating from engineering school, I was desperate to find an internship. I had lots of interviews, but no luck. One day I was flying home from an interview when I started a conversation with the man sitting next to me. He was an engineer and he suggested some companies to contact. When I got home, I sent my resume to all of them. A few weeks later, I was an intern at Honeywell. Everything went really well, and at the end of the internship, my supervisor asked me to apply for a full-time position. So I did, and I was the first person in my class to get a job.
Track 55.
How do you feel about the future? Are you optimistic or pessimistic?
Oh, I'm always very optimistic. For example, I never carry an umbrella.
Oh, right. What about your career? Are you an ambitious person?
Well, not really, but I'm not unambitious. I certainly don't want to be a president or a CEO, for example, but I do want to have a satisfying career with variety and challenge.
Okay. So, are you hard-working?
Yes, I think so. Of course, I can be lazy sometimes. I think everybody's the same. But when there's something important to do, I think I'm quite hard-working.
Right. So, you're also very organised, I suppose.
No, actually, I'm terribly disorganised. You have no idea. But I'm working on my time management skills.
Track 56. Speaker 1.
I'm responsible for taking orders, presenting new products, and taking care of customers. I do a lot of traveling.
Track 57. Speaker 2.
I'm in charge of the company's image. I organise events and I deal with journalists. So the job requires excellent spoken and written communication skills.
Track 58. Speaker 3. I manage a team of business analysts. We provide key data on revenues, profitability and cash flow to the management team. Track 59. Speaker 4.
I assist the General Director. I handle letters, email, and phone calls. And I run the Director's office on a day-to-day basis.
Track 60. Speaker 5.
I look after the development needs of all departments. I deal with external course providers and I also coach individuals when necessary.
Track 61. 1.
Looked. I looked around a job fair.
2.
Dreamed. I dreamed of working for an airline.
3.
Talked. I talked to someone called Sally.
4.
Asked. Sally asked for my CV.
5.
Emailed. I emailed Michael.
6.
Posted. I posted a comment on his blog.
7.
Replied. I was delighted when Michael replied.
8.
Wanted. I really wanted to impress Michael.
9.
Seemed. He seemed satisfied.
10.
Offered. They offered me the job.
Track 62. Part 1.
This is just a short first contact so that we can get to know you a little better. Okay, so tell me, Jessica, why did you apply for this job?
Well, I really do think social media can make the world a better place, and I want to be a part of that.
Some people say that Facebook is already finished.
I'm sorry, I can't agree with that. Of course, the world is always changing, so Facebook needs to change too. I'd like to help the company to develop.
Okay, how do you feel about working abroad?
No problem. I'm ready to go anywhere in the world.
Anywhere? That sounds very ambitious. Some places are very difficult for a young woman.
I agree with you up to a point, but I'm a very flexible and tolerant person.
How do you see your future in, say, 5 years' time?
I hope to gain business experience and develop my management skills. In 5 years' time, I intend to be in my first management position.
5 years is not very long to become a manager.
Well, perhaps you're right, but as I said, I'm ambitious. But I'm also very loyal and very hard-working.
Track 63. Part 2.
Jessica, what are your strengths and weaknesses?
That's always a difficult question. I'm quite good at managing my work. My friends say I'm never stressed. I think that's just because I'm a very organised person. I don't enjoy doing things at the last minute.
And do you have any weaknesses you'd like to work on?
Well, I'm usually calm and easygoing, but I know I'm sometimes impatient when things aren't going well, but I'm working on it.
And how good are your communication skills?
I really enjoy working with people, and people say I'm very good on the telephone. I don't enjoy presentations because I'm not very good at public speaking, but I took a presentations course last month and I'm improving.
Good. So, Jessica, do you have any questions you would like to ask?
Track 64.
What do you include in your CV? Well, for almost everything, my answer is it depends. It depends on the country, on the culture, on the company, on the job. There are so many variables. It's important to think about those variables and write your CV accordingly. So, for example, if you want to work in a country where religion is important, then of course mention your religion. But in most countries, religion is a personal matter, so it's not relevant or appropriate in a CV. If an attractive photo gives you an advantage, include it. If you're applying for a job as a pet shop manager, include your pets in your CV. I think the main thing is to ask yourself, does this information make my CV more attractive to the employer? If the answer is yes, then include it. If the answer is no, then don't.
The Business 2.0 Pre-Intermediate by John Allison with Paul Emerson. Class CD 2. Track 1.
Claire, you're in sales. What is it about sales and marketing? Why is it so hard to live together?
I think it's a cultural problem. Marketing generally have degrees. Sales usually don't. They don't teach sales at business school, so marketing don't really know what it's like. They think it's easy.
Is there a solution?
Yes. Make them work in sales for a year before they start in marketing.
It's certainly an interesting idea. What else?
In company organisation charts, sales usually report to marketing. To me, that's crazy. Marketing is supposed to support sales, not the other way round.
So you think marketing should report to sales?
Yes. You could save money that way too. Marketing wastes a lot of money on things that are of no help to sales.
What sort of things?
Advertising, brochures, trade shows.
I see. Is there anything else?
The other big cultural difference is pay. In sales, we're paid commission. If our results are good, we get paid more. If our results are not good, we get less. But marketing are paid fixed salaries, so they don't feel concerned. If sales are good, they take the credit. If sales are not good, it's our fault, not theirs.
So you think you'll get better support if marketing's pay depends on sales results?
Exactly.
Well, thank you, Claire. That's an, interesting point of view.
Track 2.
Hi, I'm Gareth. I'm a salesman. I sell professional software and I love my job. The selling process starts with an inquiry from a potential customer. In other words, a prospect. Sometimes we get a name and address from marketing. I send out some information, and a few days later, I call the prospect and arrange a sales visit. I usually give a product demonstration first. We've got a great product with a really good USP. It has features and benefits that no similar product has. My customers are usually friendly, and they always love to get their hands on the software. Then I analyse the company's needs, the number of users, and so on. I answer questions and deal with any objections they have. When I get back to the office, I write a proposal and send a quotation. We don't usually need to offer discounts because our product is good value for money. Most of my customers place an order immediately. That means my job is done, and I get my commission.
Track 3. 1.
With a record 429 kilometers per hour, the Bugatti Veyron Supersport is the fastest production car on the market. It costs $2.4 million.
2. Russian Railways Moscow to Vladivostok is the longest regular service in the world, covering 9,259 kilometres. 3.
23% of UK car buyers take home silver cars. The least popular colour is pink, with 0%.
4.
Passengers on the M50 from 1st Avenue to 12th Avenue in Manhattan say it's the slowest bus in the world. It's quicker to walk.
5.
Qatar Airways economy seats are considered to be the most comfortable in the world, with more generous legroom than other airlines.
6.
According to USA Today, this cruise is probably the least luxurious in the world. Some of the bathrooms had no water, and some of the passengers slept on mattresses on the floor.
Track 4.
You wanted to talk about childcare.
Yes, a lot of staff have childcare problems, which means that the company loses hundreds of hours of work every year. We really need a daycare centre here on site.
Well, maybe you're right, Rosie, but there are two main problems. It's a big investment and it needs specialist staff that we don't have.
I see your point, David, but can we take those two issues one by one?
Okay.
Good. I agree that a daycare centre is a big investment. However, in reality, it can save you money. Keep in mind that most of the cost is paid by the employees. The cost is taken off their salaries. As a result, the company pays less tax.
Okay, but what about the problem of specialist staff?
Well, it's certainly true that we need specialist staff. But we plan to work with a service company like Happy Day Limited. They provide the staff. What's more, they provide all the toys, equipment and so on. That allows us to focus on our business and Happy Day to take care of the children.
I'll need some figures. It's never easy to persuade the board to try new ideas.
I know what you mean. On the other hand, there are several women on the board. I'm sure they'll see the advantages. A daycare centre will help us to hire and keep the best young women. And don't forget that it's really good for morale because parents can see their kids during the lunch break. Does that make sense?
Yes, I suppose so.
The figures are all here in this report. Is there anything else you want to ask about?
No, I don't think so.
All right. The next step is for Happy Day to present their proposal to management. I'm going to call them now to fix a date. Is that all right with you?
Okay, yes. That's fine, Rosie. Thanks.
Track 5.
Hi, Aileen.
Oh, hi. How was the meeting?
Well, there's good news and bad news. Which do you want first?
Oh, give me the bad news first. Good news is too big a surprise around here.
You saw the sales figures, I suppose?
Yes, they're down again. That's no surprise.
No, and inventory is up.
Again.
Yes, we really need to sell the compact more quickly now.
It's not easy, Duncan. It's just so boring. It's an average car that gives the average customer, well, average value for money. Did you see the customer satisfaction survey? Boring, I'm afraid.
I know it's not your fault. The old marketing manager didn't do a very good job.
I don't know what he was thinking. Just make an average car and then try to sell it to everyone? That's not the way to do it. You have to think about who your customers are and what they want. Are they students or singles or families or retired people? Do they want a city car, a sports car, a luxury model, a four-wheel drive?
I know. Just do the best you can, all right?
OK, I will do. You said there was some good news.
Yes, the board agreed to develop a new car. It's your big chance to give us a really good product, a fantastic marketing strategy, and some new ideas for the advertising campaign.
That's brilliant news.
Yes, they want you to present your team's ideas as soon as possible. As I said, it's your big chance. But it's also our last chance. If the new model isn't a success, it's the end of the road for Dalavan cars.
Track 6. Hello and welcome to The Back Office. Today, we look at the careers of 3 inspirational entrepreneurs. Michael Dell's first job, at the age of 12, was washing dishes in a Chinese restaurant. When he went to the University of Texas to study medicine, he started making and selling personalized PCs. At the end of his first year, he had revenues of $80,000 per month. He left university at 19 and borrowed money from his family to expand Dell Computer. He was named Entrepreneur of the Year at the age of 24. He is now worth over $15 billion. Track 7. Cher Wang was born in Taipei, the daughter of the second richest man in Taiwan. She graduated from high school in California and went to Berkeley to study music, but soon changed to economics. She got a master's degree and went to work in her sister's company, First International Computer. When she founded HTC in 1997, the company made computers. A few years later, Wang persuaded her partners to change to making cell phones. HTC now makes 1 in every 6 smartphones that are sold in the United States. Wang's photo is rarely in the newspapers. She prefers a simple life at home with her family or playing basketball with business partners. Track 8. Sir Richard Branson left school at 16 to start a newspaper for students. He started advertising records at discount prices in the newspaper, and his record sales quickly became more profitable than the newspaper. Virgin Records started in a small office above an old shoe shop. Branson launched a record label in 1972, Virgin Atlantic Airways in 1984, and Virgin Mobile in 1999. He is now the 4th richest citizen of the United Kingdom and owns a Caribbean island in the British Virgin Islands. Track 9. Speaker 1.
The big advantage for me is that everybody already knows our name and our product. It's less risky than starting a completely new business. Of course, the disadvantage is that I have to pay a percentage of all revenues in order to use the name.
Track 10. Speaker 2.
My great-grandfather founded the company nearly 100 years ago. The advantage of being a well-known name on the stock exchange is that it's easier to get finance for new projects. Unfortunately, the family lost control of the business 20 years ago. We only own about 12% now.
Track 11. Speaker 3. I didn't start the organisation to get rich. I wanted to help people. That's the big advantage. All the profit we make is used for the good of the public. On the other hand, although I'm the founder, I'm not really in control. The business doesn't belong to me, and I can lose my job if I disagree with the board. Track 12. Speaker 4.
If we lose money, my partner and I are personally responsible for all debts. That's the big risk in our business. But then, of course, we do share all the profits.
Track 13. Petra.
It's a bad idea to sign a franchise agreement alone. It's better to ask a lawyer to explain the details.
Track 14. Malcolm.
A strategy plan isn't really necessary. The franchiser tells you exactly what to do.
Track 15. Birgit.
In this slide, you can see some typical franchises and their fees. Most franchises ask for $20,000 to $50,000. There's no choice. Every franchisee pays to get in.
Track 16. Bernd.
It's not possible to choose the cheapest suppliers. The contract forces you to buy from the official suppliers. You don't have a choice.
Track 17. Miguel.
Now, I want to say a few words about royalty payments. You can choose to pay once a quarter, but it's best to pay regularly every month. The payments are usually between 5 and 10% of sales. And remember, they're obligatory, not optional.
Track 18.
Good. So we all agree that the business district is the best place for bread and butter.
Oh, yes.
Next, we need some new ideas for sandwiches that are different and exciting. Tim?
OK, I suggest brainstorming some interesting combinations. How about ham and banana or apple and cheese?
I'm sorry to interrupt him, but I really don't think that's the best way.
Are you saying you don't like unusual combinations?
No, I love your ideas. Apple and cheese is delicious. What I mean is, we don't have to define the recipes now, but we must decide on a strategy.
Cheryl, may I interrupt? I see what you mean, but let's brainstorm everything for the moment and see what ideas we have.
OK, if you want. But as I was saying, we need a strategy. What about having a different menu of sandwiches each day so customers always have new choices?
I agree with you up to a point, but it makes things complicated.
Why not change the menu every week then?
Do you mean some weeks you can't get apple and cheese? Some customers like to eat the same thing every week.
Perhaps you're right. But we need something different. Why don't we have different types of bread each week?
Yes, I like it. And lots of unusual fillings. Fruit, salad, vegetables.
How about inviting customers to choose their own combinations?
Yes, mix and match. You choose your bread, your fillings, your dressing. That's excellent.
Wait a minute. Do you mean we have to make every sandwich to order? It will take too long.
It's a good point. But I suggest having 2 different sections, one for standard sandwiches and another for mix and match.
Yes, and different prices too.
OK, that makes sense.
Track 19.
Helen, could you write the agenda for our next meeting?
Sure, that's on the 18th, right? At the usual time?
Yes.
OK. Will everyone be there?
I hope so. We have 2 important decisions to make. First, the new offer. APL say they want €350,000 and 50% cash, so we have to decide how to react.
OK, what else?
The other item for decision is about Mr. Jarvis, the managing director. He tells me he wants to stay in his job for another year.
Jarvis, is that Jarvis?
Yes.
OK, that's a difficult problem.
Yes, we probably need half an hour for that point and 45 minutes to discuss the offer.
Do you want to present those 2 points?
Yes, I think that's a good idea. And there's also Simon's update on inventory. That's just for information, so we only need 10 minutes for that. And that's all, I think.
Can I also have 15 minutes to talk about a problem with the website?
Of course. That will still leave about 20 minutes for any other business. Is the website something we need a decision on?
Not immediately. It's just for discussion. What about the order of the items?
Let's talk about the big issues first. The offer, then Mr. Jarvis. Then we'll have Simon's update on inventory and your item on the website last.
OK.
Thanks, Helen.
Track 20.
OK, everyone, we need a decision here. Do we all agree to offer €310,000 and 40% cash?
Yes, agreed.
That's OK. All right, I'll call them this afternoon with a new offer.
Track 21.
I don't think we can work with Mr. Jarvis in the office. It will be really difficult to change things.
I like Val's idea. Let's offer him a role as a consultant, but he can't have his old job in the office.
I think that's a good compromise. Val, can you talk to Mr. Jarvis and ask him what he thinks of the idea?
Yes, I will.
Great. Let us know as soon as possible how he reacts.
OK.
Track 22.
So, basically, that's the inventory situation.
OK, thanks, Simon. I think we're all happy with that. No action required. Now, what's next? Helen, your website problem, I think.
Track 23.
So what I'm saying is we can't use apl.com or apl.co.uk.
What about .biz or .org?
Well, I think .org is for non-profit organisations, isn't it?
How about .eu or .net?
Well, I'm not sure, actually.
OK, can you check and get back to us next time?
All right, that's for the 25th then, next week.
Track 24.
Hi, Henry. I just read a really interesting article about mobile phones.
Oh, right. What was that about then?
Well, apparently there are 500 million people in the world who have a phone but no electricity.
Really?
Yes. Sometimes they have to travel miles and then pay someone to charge their phone.
Wow.
In many parts of the world, they don't have a regular or stable power supply. For example, in most of Africa, only 25% of the population have electricity, and that's in towns. In rural parts of Africa, only 10% of people have a regular and stable electricity supply.
Only 10%? Really?
Well, don't you see what that means?
No, I don't. What?
It means there's an enormous market for solar battery chargers like yours, especially if you can ship them really cheaply to sunny countries.
Oh, yes! I see what you mean.
Track 25. Maria. My company had to reduce its prices because of competition from Asia. The first thing they cut was the travel budget. Instead of travelling to meetings, we do everything by conference call now. It isn't always easy, but it's a lot cheaper. They also stopped our annual bonus, so we had to make cuts in the family budget. We wanted to go to the USA for our holidays, but we decided it was too expensive. Fortunately, nobody lost their jobs, so I think I'm quite lucky, actually. Track 26. Stephen.
My company was taken over by an American group. They wanted to cut costs to improve their margins. Several people lost their jobs. I was one of them. I was unemployed for 6 months, which was hard. I had to sell my car, and I spent most of my savings. But in the end, I found a new job with a startup company. It's more interesting than my old job, and the money's better, so I suppose I was lucky, really.
Track 27. 1.
If you look on the back of your invoice, Mr. Jones, everything is explained in black and white.
2.
No, I'm sorry. We can't give credit for export orders. We need payment before we ship the goods.
3.
Yes, that's okay, madam. You can give the delivery man cash or a cheque.
4.
Yes, regular customers can pay 1 month after we send the invoice.
5.
But you can deduct 2% from the total if you pay in less than 10 days.
6.
Because it's a special order, we'll need 20% now, Mrs. Black.
7.
Thank you, Mrs. Black. You can pay the rest when you come to pick it up.
8.
Annabelle, do you remember I lent you £10 last month?
Track 28.
How long will it take?
Well, we'll send you a quotation when we receive your specifications.
Can't you quote me a price now?
Well, we won't know the exact cost until you give us all the details.
OK.
And then as soon as you confirm your order, we'll start work. We usually need about 2 weeks.
I see. And I'll pay you after I receive the machine, is that right?
No, you'll receive an invoice 48 hours after you confirm the order. You'll need to pay it before we ship the machine.
Oh, so it'll take about 3 weeks then?
Yes, you'll receive the machine 2 or 3 days after we ship it.
Track 29.
The programme is looking good, but Brandon and I feel it's expensive. Could you bring the price down a little?
I'm sorry, but it's just not possible. Unless we cut some of the activities.
No, the activities are perfect. We can't cut anything.
What about the train tickets? We're bringing you a lot of business. Can you give us a discount?
Well, I'd like to help you. OK, if you can guarantee 30 participants, we can give you 5% on the train tickets.
Only 5%? I'm afraid we can't accept that. We're students, remember? It's a lot of money for a weekend. Can we agree on 10%?
Yes, if you give us a 10% discount, we'll guarantee 35 participants.
I'm afraid we can't give you 10% unless you can find 50 participants.
I don't think we'll get that many. What about 8% for 40 participants?
That's acceptable, as long as everything is paid 2 weeks before the trip.
OK, it's a deal.
Just a minute, Kayla. We agree, providing you organise a free drink when we arrive at the hotel.
All right, we can live with that.
Track 30.
Last year, sales were very good, but this year we didn't do so well. Megan was ill, I was very busy, and we lost one of our biggest customers. We made a net loss, but that was only because of depreciation on the machines. We didn't have to borrow any money, but we're confident about next year. Our administrative costs are under control, and they won't change. but we're going to put our price up by 50 cents. Production cost per mug will be the same as this year, so we'll increase our margins. Perhaps we'll lose 1 or 2 customers, but our price will still be very reasonable. And after all, our customers come to us for our designs, not our prices. We think we'll sell 50% more than this year.
Track 31. Speaker 1.
I visited India recently and some Indian friends took me out for lunch. There was a lot of vegetarian food and no beef or pork, of course. In India, it's a very sensitive issue and a real problem for restaurants. Vegetarians want to be sure their food is never in contact with meat. So, in the kitchen, they had a very clever solution. The cooks had different coloured uniforms. Green for vegetarian and red for those who cooked meat. I had some very spicy chicken. It was delicious. It was a very popular restaurant. I'm sure you know it. It's called McDonald's.
Track 32. Speaker 2. Our management training franchise recently opened 10 new outlets in Brazil. We were concerned about the language problem. We were especially worried about the cost of translating all our contracts and manuals into Portuguese. The good news is the Brazilians already have a solution. The law allows you to use English for all the paperwork if the franchisees agree. So that solved the problem. The bad news is that recruiting instructors took a lot more time than we planned, so we opened behind schedule and over budget. Track 33. Speaker 3.
A Russian friend of mine opened an American coffee shop franchise in Kazan. Well, the first problem was the customers were happy with coffee and donuts in the morning, but in the evening they wanted traditional meat patties and vodka. So my friend gave them what they wanted, and the business did very well. However, the real problem was with the American franchisor. They said my friend had to follow the manual, no more meat patties and no more vodka. My friend refused. And you know what the franchisor did? They stopped the contract and closed the coffee shop.
Track 34. 1.
Our objective is to raise enough capital to start a battery shop franchise. So far, we've raised about half of the $200,000 we need. We're a little behind schedule, but we're on budget. The next step is to get a bank loan for another $100,000. However, there is a problem. There's a delay at the bank because we need our parents to sign guarantees. Some of them live abroad, so it's a little complicated. To save time, we've scanned the documents and sent them by email. I think it's a good solution. We have to pay the franchise fee by the end of next month, but we're optimistic. We think we can get the money in time to meet the deadline.
Track 35. 2.
We're trying to recruit new franchisees for our ice cream shops in India. Currently we're on schedule, but our big problem is staying within the budget. The thing is, India is such a big country, we're spending too much on plane tickets. So now, to save money, we're going to organise all our interviews in one place. The next step is to start training franchisees and their staff. We're confident we can meet the deadline and open the ice cream shops on time. Because we've exceeded the budget, we really need those franchise fees as soon as possible.
Track 36. 3.
Our objective is to find cheaper products and equipment for our cleaning services. Our first task was to source a new supplier. At the moment, things aren't looking good. We've already missed the deadline and we've also exceeded our budget. And we still haven't found a new supplier. The big problem is stock. We can get better prices if we order large quantities, but we have nowhere to put a lot of stock. The solution is, well, we don't know what the solution is. We're working on it, but we're not optimistic. We think we'll probably be several weeks behind schedule and maybe 20% over budget.
Track 37.
Have you ever needed help with a difficult project? Have you ever wanted to develop your people skills? Business Coach is here to help in exactly those situations. We provide personal coaching and support for business people. Since 2004, we've helped thousands of people to become great managers and supervisors, and we've coached hundreds of people who were starting their own business. We've done business in the US and the UK for nearly 10 years, and we've already opened franchises in 5 countries in Europe. We've just opened 3 new offices in South America too. Now you can open your own Business Coach franchise. We're looking for new franchisees to develop our business in Asia. If you enjoy helping people to become better managers, and if you would like to start a profitable and satisfying business, contact Business Coach today.
Track 38.
It's now week 9. As you can see on the chart, we are behind schedule because the paperwork was delayed for 2 weeks. As a result, we couldn't buy the kitchen equipment on schedule. However, we have just installed the kitchens and we have already started decorating the restaurants. We expect to finish by the end of this week. We bought the furniture ahead of schedule in week 5 because there was a special offer. Unfortunately, we haven't started hiring staff yet, so we are 4 weeks behind schedule. Consequently, we have decided to use an agency to save time. They are going to start hiring next week, and we intend to begin training immediately. We are confident that we can still be ready on time. The 2 restaurants will open on schedule in week 14.
Track 39.
So, are there any questions?
Why didn't you finish the kitchen sooner?
Sorry, I didn't catch that.
Why did you finish the kitchens in week 8?
That's a very good question. We wanted to finish in week 5, but as I mentioned earlier, in week 5 we bought the furniture. We didn't have time to finish the kitchens until last week because we were decorating. Does that answer your question?
Yes, I see.
What are you doing this week?
We are currently painting the walls. It's a big job, but we hope to start hiring staff next week.
You didn't mention stock.
Right, I'm glad you asked me that. We originally planned to buy stock in week 6, but because we are still painting the restaurant, we have to wait another week.
What about advertising? You haven't planned an advertising campaign.
Actually, we've planned a very exciting campaign. But can I come to that in a moment? I'd like to finish talking about setup first.
And what about money?
I'm sorry, I don't quite follow you.
My question is about money. Are you over budget?
Well, I'm afraid I can't go into detail right now, but actually we are just under budget at the moment.
Track 40. Speaker 1. Fair dues, hairdos? Well, they're nice people, and the 2 weeks training in South Africa was great. However, it's a really competitive market, and I don't think it was a very good choice. Maybe it works in South Africa, but here in Europe, people want something more sophisticated. My partner and I opened a salon in Warsaw last year. We also plan to have salons in other cities, like Krakow and Poznan, but I'm not sure about that now. We're trying different ideas. Fortunately, the franchisor is flexible, and we're starting to make a profit, but it's not enough. So for the moment, it's hard work, and it's not very well paid. Track 41. Speaker 2.
I opened a Mountie sandwich shop 6 months ago in Belgrade. It's a good business, but it's extremely hard work, with early mornings and late nights. And I haven't taken a day off since I started. Profitability is good. I'll probably be in a position to open a second shop soon, but I'm sure I can make more profit by selling other products. The problem is, the Mounties rules are very strict. I'm not allowed to do anything that isn't in their manual, so I'm feeling very tired and a little frustrated.
Track 42. Speaker 3.
I'll be honest, I thought Tween and Dream was a crazy choice. But my wife wanted to do it, so I said, okay, let's try it. The franchiser in Los Angeles said, if you follow the manual, you'll make money. So we did, and it's been fantastic. First of all, Tween and Dream only opens in the afternoons, so we have a good quality of life. And secondly, there really is a market for this product. We opened our first store in the center of Rio, and now we have 2 more. I thought it was a big investment, but we're making a lot of money. And you know, all those little girls? They look so happy. I think it's great.